Good afternoon, folks. It's me, all the way George Page, aka the Emperor of WMMA Talk. That is my new moniker, folks. You know, as you know, I'm also the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk. And today we have a very special guest, a couple, and especially our guest is one Miss Sarah, Too Sweet Alpar, and along with her, her husband Drew. And we'd like to welcome you both. Today is their anniversary, their first year anniversary. So everybody wish both Drew and Sarah a very, very happy anniversary.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us on.
Not a problem, not a problem. Now, if you folks know, Miss Alpar is a former UFC fighter, and she last fight about a couple of weeks ago. And we want to talk about her history, also how her and Drew met, and it's everything we want to talk. If you have questions you want to ask them in the comment section. Like I said, please introduce yourselves kindly, please.
Okay, well, we're glad to be here and happy to be on the show today.
Yeah, we appreciate it, both of y'all. So, Sarah, how did you start in a sport so vicious like MMA?
So I was a wrestler beforehand, and my goals were cut short. I had a scholarship to Oklahoma City University. That's when I first got to Oklahoma, because originally I'm from Amarillo, Texas. And I did a year of that, and I just kind of fell apart during that year. A lot of stuff happened. So I went back home to finish school, and wrestling there for women in college at the time, it wasn't an option. There was like 4 schools available to wrestle in college. And so it was just like, I was like, I'm done wrestling with my goals and stuff like that. But I wasn't done competing. I felt like there's so much more. I landed at a gym in Amarillo just for a job, not even like to pursue fighting or anything like that. And then the instructor up there was like, oh, you're good. Like, you're tough. You know what to do. I can teach you, blah, blah. And then I just started fighting from there, fell in love with it. It's all history from there.
Now, also, Drew, what's the day with her at the house with y'all two? What's like when she's home with y'all?
Oh, I would say it's pretty normal. I mean, for the most part, I mean, we work and come home and have a kind of a routine and go to bed early and cook and eat together and go to church on Sunday. It's pretty basic stuff for the most part. She's in camp. Things changed a little bit, we don't see a whole lot of each other, whenever it's crunch time for her. So we just kind of, get time in together when we can. I don't know, that kind of sums it up, I guess. Usually we have date nights. When she's in fight camp, we don't, just not able to make that happen during that time. So stresses can be a little bit higher too, the closer the fight gets and the less she has, calorie wise, and the closer it gets, it's harder for her, I think, so it's I feel like kind of, my job then to step in as a husband and, pull a little more of the weight when I can and help her out with things around the house. She's not able to be here, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, it's tough being a woman in sports and MMA. As you know, y'all ladies, y'all don't get as much respect as your male counterparts. You work just as hard, you train just as hard, but it's tough.
Yeah, I agree with that. There too. I feel like sometimes we have to work even harder to try to meet with the males in this sport, because we feel like, I feel like I'm always having to prove something, going to the gym and people are like, oh, this girl, what does she know, and having to step things up or train harder. Some of the guys, if they wince a little bit at something, it's like, well, for me, I can't do that because I can't show that I'm weak or anything like that. So I feel like we have to take it even farther to try to prove ourselves sometimes. I think it's getting better, and especially with the women and the growth in the sport. people are starting to realize and understand, you're going to fight and it's just what it is. And then coming to just the times of how today is 2021, like a lot of things are starting to change and be accepted and all that. So that, it's great. I love what I do, and it wouldn't change for the world.
Now, what was like with your first MMA match when you first got to the cage? What was your first MMA match like?
Gosh, that was such a long time ago. It's so hard to remember that very first fight. But I feel like every fight's the same. The adrenaline's always pumping in you, the nerves, the part in your head where you're just trying to stay positive and believe in yourself and to combat those like negative thoughts and the what ifs and everything. So it all kind of comes together. I do feel like this last fight, like my mental headspace was so much better than it had been in a long time. But every fight is as hard as the last. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. It's the unknown. In MMA, it just takes one hit in the right spot to change the outcome.
Mm-hmm. Now, if people don't know this, Sarah not only was a former UFC fighter, she's also the inaugural LFA bantamweight champion. What was that feeling when they get that belt wrapped around your waist?
Yeah, that changed a whole lot. For a while, I had wanted to be in the UFC for a long time, and I had gotten closer to my chance of getting there, like back in 2016 or 17, and then I felt like it all got taken away, and I had to take a step back and go back to getting to that point again. So making that LFA belt, I knew I was really close to making it in the UFC at the time, and it felt good. And it just felt good to get, I get like a strap on my waist like that. Like, it's cool, Everyone's an important win though, but that one, it was fun, it was exciting, and I had a lot to prove for that fight. It just felt good.
Drew, were you there when she got her title, or?
It was, yeah. That was still kind of early on in our relationship. Was within the first 6 months, I guess. So I'd never experienced anything like that. In fact, I really didn't look her up when we were dating. She told me she fought and everything. I thought that was cool. Like I said, I really didn't have any idea, like her record or the next fight would be for a belt or anything. And so it was, she was looking at that LFA fight, and I finally looked her up and was like, wow, okay, it's more than just a hobby. she's serious about this thing. So it was a really cool experience. We got to celebrate with her afterwards, and spend some time in Dallas, just kind of hanging around and enjoying the rest of the trip afterwards. So it was cool.
It was cool, as we say. Anyway, we got people in here in the comment section. The almighty Mr. Bennett, and he says happy anniversary. My brother Marcus Bell for our family CS Combat Sports. Salute to all the Rage George page coming through, smashing that like, and he also says happy birthday and congratulations on hey Sarah, and congratulations on your anniversary. Also, we have here Miss Fishiana. She's a dear friend of mine. She's my sister. Hello to everyone. So hello to Miss Fishiana Fights. And also the almighty Mr. Bennett. He has a comment. He said the UFC was unfair to you and they cut you too prematurely. And actually, that's the truth. As you know, you start out, you get on to the Dana White's contender, and you beat Shannon Young, and then next you know, you win the UFC. And your first fight was against Jesse Rose Clark, and I saw that fight. It was a tough fight, and what was your feeling after that fight?
Well, like even before, and I'm not one who is gonna go on like social media and stuff like that and be like, this is the reason, blah blah blah. So, I feel like it's an excuse. I lost and I lost, and I just like took that in. But there was a lot of factors that came into play for that fight. One was like the gym I was at, and there's a lot of drama starting to come there, and with my coach. There was during the fight, they tried to give me a piss test, and I couldn't go to the bathroom. And I cut a lot of weight for that fight too. My body has a horrible time making weight. Like even this last fight, I weighed in at 126, and the next day I was 151. That's how much weight I gained in a day, because my body just like struggles so much in the cuts, and I've been like trying so hard to fix that. But anyways, that's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down. But yeah, so that takes factor, and so all the chaos and everything, and with COVID and all that, I didn't get a warm up before that fight. And they just like threw me out there. I had a lot of stimulus. The guy wrapping my hands was like yelling at me in the back, and just like everything like up here, it was just so much chaos. And so I walked out, and then it's just like walking out dry, no warm up, mentally just like fucked, like, and I walked out, and I gave the best fight that I could, and I sucked it up, and I felt like the first round, like I was doing okay, and then slowly after that, like when I took a hit, and that one broke my nose, and after that it was rough. I couldn't see. I mean, my whole vision was cloudy, and then I took that knee, and that ref comes in and like stops me and puts me back in this position while I'm still on the ground, which isn't something that your ref's supposed to do. Like, this isn't a jiu-jitsu match. You don't bring him and put him in this position. Like, there's the whole thing was fucked up with that fight. It sucks. I feel like I could have performed so much better. I know I'm a better athlete than that. But too, I still feel like those are like kind of excuses. Like, even with all that happening, I still need to be able to perform the best I can, and just go out there and like do it, So I was like, okay, I take my loss, and got better. But yeah, that one was really rough. But in the end, like, I had a beautiful wedding. I got married 3 weeks afterwards. And I looked great, like everything was perfect. And then even, this fight, the last one I had with Aaron, I felt like I did great. I'm not disappointed in my performance at all. I didn't have my coach. They gave him a false positive for COVID, and he couldn't be in my corner. So I had to be like pretty independent with myself. I think my cornerman I did a great job. We just didn't know as much on the game plan, and with like the language that like between with the coach and what I'm used to in fixing things and stuff like that. That wasn't quite there, but I feel like I did great. Focus on my stand up instead of my ground stuff, and like I was happy. I was like, okay, I lost, but did I lose? Like, I felt like I still won. But yeah.
Yeah, they give you a chance to hydrate. You just sent you out there, and just kind of just a better word for it. They screwed you and didn't kiss you, huh?
Yeah, about it. And I felt like with this fight, like I didn't have pressure on this last fight, but I knew, like a part of me knew that if either like with my coach testing positive, if I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to fight without him. If I didn't take it, they would cut me. I felt like if I lost this fight, they would cut me. Like, I felt like the inevitable was against me, and I feel like that was messed up, just because like I was never against UFC on anything. The only thing I wanted to do was I was trying to get a little bit of funding so that I could have a camp, and I wouldn't have to stress and work 40 hours and train 40 hours, and like I try to do things right. And I got lucky and I got blessed with the situation I fell in, but UFC didn't take it like that, because they got so much hard. But like, I felt like I was a target with all of that, and it was still like I got put on the shit list still, even though it had nothing. Like, I wasn't against them for anything. I said nothing but great things with UFC and the promotion, and this and that. And I said nothing but good things with Jake too. I stayed very neutral, but it doesn't matter because it's just how it was. So.
Yeah, because if anybody knows that, or was it a while back, Jake Paul, YouTuber and so-called boxer, donated a good chunk of change to Sarah's GoFundMe, and that was surprising. Like Jake, like Jake, give me that money. Jake, give me that gun. On training day.
Yeah.
I want that money. I want that gun. And the thing is, Jake, him and your former boss, they've been kind of having out on social media, and you became the target because he can't get after Jake, so he get after you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even like it wasn't even if it wasn't for some reporter who wrote a story about me and put it in their own words, not in what my intentions and the truth of what I needed that for was, but in the reporter of how they wrote it out. If it wasn't for him, then I wouldn't have gotten to Jake. So there's a plus side to that. But still, like this reporter was just looking for a story and to also jab at UFC. So they used me as a target. Like people are really messed up. They're like really, really messed up. Like, so I just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because it could have been you, could have been anybody, but you was just, you're the only lucky one. And what was that feeling when you got your GoFundMe? You said, "Wow, Jake Paul donated all this money to me." I mean, it was a great feeling, but people take it out of context. You're a fighter. You're looking for help, and somebody nice enough offer you the money. It didn't matter who he was; he offered you the money. But certain people, they take it kind of as an offense, but it's just somebody helping somebody out. Be charitable.
Yeah. Well, and even the first part of it, I didn't even set up a GoFundMe. I hired a marketing manager, and we were trying to get sponsors. I'm all for like, hey, I will promote your business if you help me out. It's basically like the business is paying me to like commercial, like basically commercialize them or whatever you want to call it to like promote them. And so it's just like it's like a commercial, but through all my social media and branching out that way. And I'm all for exchange and doing that and even like that. But she was like, some people they just can't give enough or they don't want that, but they just want to help you. And let's set up this GoFundMe. It's an easy way. Everything's pocketed together. Blah blah blah. And so we went that route for it, and that's when it took off. But like I was working. I was going to school. We were getting our son for the summer, so we were having him a lot more. And we were like trying to make ends meet. We had a roommate that was living with us. She moved out, so we were like taking an extra load of like our rent because we rent our house and stuff. And like everything was coming down. So it's not like I was just sitting here and like doing nothing, asking for money. Like I was working my ass off. He was working his ass off. And we were like trying to find ways. And then I was trying to get this fight going. Because too, I lost my last fight and I was just like, I needed something. And I was supposed to have another fight and that got canceled. And so my funding, like I was responsible for my money. I made it last over a year from my last purse. And then this fight that I was just having made, it got canceled and I had nothing. And like, we're just trying to figure everything out. So like, it wasn't like we just, didn't try everything else and this and that, like, so I don't know, just think it's funny, but that's the story of it. That's the reality. Yeah. I'm blessed that Jake came in and, that's not something that you just like, no, that's okay. Like, yeah, I'm going to take that. Like, I mean, that was a huge help and it was a blessing to me. And Jake's a really cool guy too. He's laid back and, despite what's going on the social medias and stuff like that, I think he's a good guy.
Yeah. And Drew, was that the same feeling when we saw that how Jake denoted to Sarah's GoFundMe? Was that a great feeling, or was that relief off both y'all shoulders?
Oh, it was a huge help. I mean, I've just taken a weekend job working 3 13-hour shifts, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I work with an older population at a gym. I'm a trainer for elder people, and so I was working 2 jobs, and knowing that she didn't have anything to worry about. I could take care of my end of things, and she didn't have to stress out like that. I mean, yeah, it was big. That was a big turning point. I felt like for both of us, in that like we didn't have to worry about the financial end now. We just I do what I'm supposed to do and go to work. You go train and do what you're supposed to do and go to work, and you don't have to worry about actually going to a job to go and train. You know, and so yeah, it was a big relief, and it was exciting too. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I noticed, like I said, I was doing some research, and I know the person you supposed to fight next is a lady I did an interview with, and that was Lupita Lupi Guerreras. And I did an interview with her some time ago. She's a great person. I still keep contact with her. And just last night, or actually last afternoon, her and a couple other women got Performance of the Night at the UFC 39. And as we talk about this, I'm part of a family called CS Combat Sports. We talk about how one thing is the pay. As you know, MMA fighters, you barely get I think not it's you should get earned. I mean, you're the entertainment. You're the people we come to see, but you don't get what's supposed to be fair wages. How you feel about that?
Yeah, actually, I was talking to my manager about this. We hung out the other night. It's the sports. It's always been like that. But if you think about it, like even in boxing, and when it very first started, the background of boxing that was like the women's sport, or like back like the slaves and stuff. They would like fight each other, and then they'd like people bet on them. Like that's like the background with a lot of that and how it's come to now. And so like I feel like even like boxing, there's never like a set. I don't get like insurance and things like that paid for or anything. It's so different. You look at the NFL and then you look at things like boxing and MMA, like all of it's kind of it's not the same. It's not even, MMA especially, I don't think any of us are paid correctly, and I feel like that's something that does need to be changed. And really, like I thought when I was going to get in the UFC, it's like, okay, I got a UFC contract and everything's going to change. Like I won't have to work anymore. I won't have to do this. But getting started, like you still have to do all that. It's almost like even worse. It's this gray area because it's just like now you have all these eyes on you and you have to make something of yourself, but you're still in a position where you're still having to work and make ends meet and do all that. So I don't know, like it was just like a false, it was just like a false hope, a false reality of what I was picturing it compared to what it is. So, I mean, I think we take a lot more damage than like a football player. They can recover. They got helmet, they got pads, and everything like that. And they're making millions of dollars. Even like the third string, is making more than what like I would ever be able to make and I feel like. So I think there does need to be a lot of change. So
Yeah, because even like the bottom basic unranked boxer still makes more than maybe second tier MMA fighter. Somebody like Conor McGregor still doesn't make more than Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather. I remember when Conor fought Floyd. Floyd, he usually don't get out of bed for nothing under $100,000, and Conor got a nice cut. Your ex boss, he got a cut of that, and it's not fair. You take a lot of damage. You have to deal with concussion. You have to deal with eternal stuff. It also affects your mental too, because after a while it does be difficult. Now right here I got a man by the name of my brother, the almighty Mr. Bennett. You hung in there. Let's just talk about your just fight. You hung in there. You handled yourself well for your debut against a seasoned vet. And he said it's politics as usual when it comes to MMA, especially with the UFC. And it's just crazy. Now, like I said, this is why we try to give these women attention. And if anybody out here, if you're watching this video, if you're interested in sponsoring someone like Sarah in upcoming fight, her social media stuff is in the description. check her out. She's a great person. She is dedicated to the sport, and I want to recognize her commitment because you know what? A lot of these ladies, they're working hard. They're not getting financial support. They have to work, like she just said. She's going to school. She's a wife. She's a mother. She's working, and it's a lot because I can tell you, I used to work. I used to hold two jobs, and it could be a lot. It's just me, a single man with no kids. You know.
Yeah, yeah, it takes a lot. I mean, dude, it's life. I think recently, like I've accepted a lot of things, and I found comfort in myself and in the present moment of what today's bringing me. And I'm grateful for what we have and where we're at, and blessings and great things have come. And I just like I'm put all the good vibes and the feels out there to the universe, and it's going to come back. And I'm still grateful for where I've been and what I have. Like so many people have like talked trash or said this and that about me. Like they've not ever been in the UFC. How many people do you know have been in the UFC that like personally or themselves or yeah like I did it. Like I made a goal, and everything else is like icing on the cake. I still have a lot that I need to work on. I finally found a gym that this coach has instilled so much in me, and like it's crazy. It took over 10 years to find the right person that's for my needs and to help me. And I feel like now I'm getting better. I took like a big plateau and just needed to find my spot for that. I have a great marriage. I have like there's so many good things that are coming, and I'm still so young. The first half of my life is just begun. So like the 30, that's where it's at. You think it's the 20s? No, like 30s. That's the prime. I'm right in my
well, I gotta tell you something right now. I'm 47. I'm about 46. About to be 47 next month. And and I'm like I like court movies, and one of my favorite movies is Tombstone with Val Kilmer and Doc Holliday. And when you say like, so you're Doc Holliday, say no, sir, I'm in my prime. And that's how you
that's exactly,
yeah. And Drew, like I said, you're the man behind the woman, and she's there for you. You hugging her, you tell her, baby, you can keep on going. You're like her. You're the mixture of Rocky. Like you get up, you son of a bitch, Vicky loves ya.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Like anybody, if you follow Sarah on social media. Sarah's a great singer, and she sung one of a song I used to hear when I was a kid. Sam Cooke's "Change Gonna Come." Can you sing it just that one more time for us, we folks? Come on. You can do it. I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, like the river. I've been running since. It's been a long time coming, but change gonna come. Oh, yes, it is.
Ooh, hey, get on and do a duet.
Yeah, that's because I love that song. It's classic. But like I said, when we talk about this is MMA. What would you could change if you could in a sport of MMA entirely? What could you change?
With MMA, gosh, there's so much. Just I don't know. I think like there's politics in all sports. There really is. It's just like pick your poison on it. I don't know. Like I just think probably the biggest thing is just the fairness in it all. I feel like it's an unfair sport. I would change the options. I felt like it's like UFC or pretty much like nothing. UFC or Bellator. Like those are your top two. PFL's coming up.
Invictus kind of like on the side.
There's some other promotions that are starting to be on the rise, but just like something to give options. There's not just one place to go, one ruling, and just for something like myself, it'd be really cool if they'd like give you a contract that's like, hey, you'll get this much a year. so that you can train and, have your own insurance, like if they would insure you. So you can take care of that. It'd be nice, like, to make it like a career. Where's your 401k? We're just like, give something. So,
Because there's a fighter by the name of Leslie Smith. She wanted to start a union, if you remember that. And the UFC they heard it because the thing is, I think a lot of fighters, they be worried about the short term money, but not the long term money. You got to think about it. You can't keep doing this forever. You got to think about your future, what you're going to have. There's fighters who, like, some time ago, Tito Ortiz was a legend. He was out there, applying for food stamps, and he had a job working for the city. And then he did that fight against you saw that fight against Anderson Silva. He gets knocked out, and and it's just a lot of these fighters. It's difficult for them. Some of them, as you know, because of the a lot of damage, you get PTSD. You end up on some drugs or whatever because of pain, steroids, other things. It's just so much for you, and you fight and you work, and the end of it, you pretty much have empty hands.
yeah, and then you're back to start again. It's like, you have your pride, and some people, they don't know how to manage their money very well, and like, they spend that whole purse, and even then, like, you get a purse, but what's happening? So now you have a percentage that go to your coaches, your cornermen, a percentage that goes to your management, and then you're backtracking everything that you had paid for during your camp. If you don't have somebody helping take care of that, then you're like taking what you have of your purse and you're giving back, so all you start to put on like a credit card or something like that.
And don't forget taxes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Tax. Yeah.
Yep.
I take about 20. Yeah. I take about 25% of my purse and put it back to taxes just in case. Because even though it's in Vegas, I live in Oklahoma, so they tax you.
Yeah.
And then that's what happens with it. So yeah, they end up with like nothing. It seems like, like all of that for this. You're like, okay, and up front it kind of seems like a lot. You're like, this is it. But if you fight once a year, like this last year, that's like I fought one time, then you're looking at this person. It's just like, oh, well, then you're either like in the lower class of what, like, of what you're making, or that middle class, like, you like break even on it. So she's like, what really is going on? Like, what really are you? You're a pro athlete, but like,
it's you're getting tired of being. You want to be in the black instead of being in the red.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is one question. Like, how did you get your name Too Sweet?
I got it through Dale Cook. It's a promotion out in Tulsa. It was Rumble on the River, and he gave me that name. I tell you what, I got the Simmons is coming, about to be a Sarah Simmons. The name changes in. I know it's been forever, but COVID has like kept me and this and that from the name change. But everything's gonna change. I'm like gonna change my fight name, all of it. I'm just like the alter ego that change. It's coming. Like, I don't know. I just like want that different. All of it's different. So I can be like a whole new person, a whole new identity. So I'm excited for what's to come with that. So you have any name suggestions? Let me know.
I don't know. How about, like I said, I have multiple, on here, I have what I call multiple personalities. I'm George Page, all the rage. I'm also, I got one called the Pervy Sage, because I get a little pervy. And also I got one that I do stuff on here where it be a little anarchy, and it's called the Joker.
Yes.
My thing is dynamite and gasoline. And I think, Sarah, you might have a plan. And Drew, I think you're standing by her. And people that say in this world, like this whole disease has, the world going crazy.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah. And like I said, folks, like I said, this is a great lady. Her and her husband. Like I said, if you are out there, if you follow me or just follow her, we want to get Sarah to the next level because the UFC, which is what they did kindly, just because my favorite movies are from the Batman, Nolan trilogy. UFC walked behind Sarah quietly and stabbed her in the heart, and and we it's funny how some people will get privilege. Who some people was on like there's some fighters on a 4 fight losing streak, high humps, cheese toys, and they're still there. And you just had 2 losses, and you were against a couple of tough opponents, and they just like I said, quietly walked behind you and stabbed you in the heart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I think, yeah, but isn't that life? You have a job or like anything in life. I don't think we deserve anything. We earn our things. So I take it with a grain of salt, and I think there's something so much better ahead. So whatever it is, okay, all right, let's see. You did that, and that's on you. I can't control what the UFC does for me, but I can control how I take that and then what I do with it. So either I can fall apart or I can get back up and pursue for something more different or what else. So I just, I'm embracing this opportunity and I see all the positives in it and I'm looking forward to what's next, whatever it may be. So
Yeah, and to say once again, one of my favorite quotes of the movie, like, "Why do we fall? So we learn to pick ourselves up." Yeah. So anyway, folks, if you have any questions for Sarah while we're here, because today's the anniversary. I know her and Drew want to do some newlywed couple stuff. Oh, yeah. Well, we're telling the camera not look. Yes. This is. I got a question to ask you. This is from my brother, Coach Sherry Harrison. He was the man who got me into this, and he's my brother. I'm a fan of. He's a fan of mine. He wondering how do you get out of a Kimura?
how do I get out of a Kimura? Gosh, there's a lot of different ways. You just don't get locked up in it in the first place. That's one thing my coach always tells me too. Don't get in that in the first place. That's the biggest one.
Yeah, it's a tough move. I think I don't know. I think my favorite move is the Perry Say would say it's the rear naked choke.
That's a great one. Yeah. Who came
Yeah.
up with that name? No.
I just
What were you
I,
really doing when he came up with that name?
you gotta think about it. He might have been with his girl one night, so you know what, girl, I'm gonna put you to choke, and I got you naked from the rear. And say like, so why are you? Because that's a great move, You know. There was a if you know about boxing, there's a boxer back in the day by the name of Bernard Hopkins. They call him B Hop, and he used to call MMA gay sex, and a move like that kind of yeah. And Drew, has she ever put you in the rear naked choke? I know you have.
Not yet, but that one year,
No
you never
comment.
know.
So, like I said, this is a great. I'm enjoying this time with both of y'all too, and as a couple, it's a lot of hardship. You're there for her, you support her, and you see the struggle. The struggle is real, and I respect for you, Drew, because you're with you are with an elite athlete, and you love her and she loves you, and like I said again, folks, this is the special anniversary, and let's remind them that how special they are, because you know what, you two people, you've gone through a lot. You work hard. You take care of family, and you know what, you should have more. There should be more for you than what you have now. But I would say like this: I'm a person. I'm a bit of a pessimist, but also I have a little bit of optimism. I see you can have a great future. You have a great personality. You are a beautiful person inside and out. And I think this could be, if somebody like a Scott Coker, maybe a Shannon Knapp, or somebody else will offer you opportunity, you should grab it and run.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think so
yeah.
too. I think whatever's coming next, I'm not gonna take the first thing offered. But if it's fitting and it feels right, yeah, just take it and run. You know, there are so many things, like God has given me so many gifts that I could take and go with, and it's not just fighting. Fighting is something I do. It's not who I am, and so whatever happens next, I'm all for it, and I know that it's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to it. So
Like
I
that.
but again, that's something, I love to do, and yeah, like I'll keep doing it till that fire runs out, or the body, whichever one comes first. Probably my body will run out first. all the check engine lights, all the lights are starting to come on. But yeah, whatever's to come, just looking forward to it. I'm going to be the best version of myself for it. So.
Yeah. And Drew, you gonna be there when the lights start going out, and you're gonna keep them burning for her.
That's it.
Yeah. Like I always say, right until the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I don't want to hold y'all too up because today is your anniversary. You want to spend it together, and I'm gonna cover the camera, so you want to be yourself. And I appreciate your time, and I'm hoping we get to see you again, no matter what form, be it in the octagon or just be a TV superstar. We would love to see you. You can always come back here, and I can say, hey, I know her win. I like to be that person. So, like I said, do you have anybody you want to get a shout out to? Sponsors, friends, families, anybody?
Yeah. Definitely my study minds. They have been great. That's like a game changer for my life. So check them out if you need some, like mental coaching and everything. Like that's like a big life changer. So big shout out to them. And TKO Combat Sport and Management. Janelle, my managing marketing agent. Big shout out to everybody who supported me and have been by my side along the way, and friends, family, and all you Choose Weight fans out there. I'm looking forward to all the good things, and also MMA, Bitcoin, it's a new sponsor in the crypto. So looking forward to working with them, and I'm excited for what's to come. So.
And Drew, you have anybody you want to shout out to right here, sir?
I mean, you put me on the spot. I don't really have any big shout outs. I
Say shout out to your mom.
Thank God every day. I mean, it's shout out to the big man. Shout out to all the moms out there.
That's right.
Not just my mom, but everybody. I mean, all the moms.
That's a mom too.
All the moms that are out there just working to provide for their kids and make a good life for their families. And shout out for my beautiful wife here on our anniversary. So
so it's just so wonderful. It's just y'all so beautiful. So much young love. Love. It's a beautiful, splendid thing. But like I said, folks, like I said again, I have Sarah's social media stuff. She's on TikTok. She's on IG. She just have a YouTube channel too. Yeah, I got it like that. You can post training pictures and fighting videos and just everyday stuff. People will follow you because the fact is, you are, like I said, you are a great lady. And I reached out to her. She reached out to me, and I love when I get a chance to help somebody any way I can. Just the littlest thing that help. Sometimes it comes a long way. Like I said, to say like a quote from my favorite movie, Dark Begins, as Jim Gordon said to Batman, I forgot to thank you. And I'm saying like this, you never have to. And also, once again, folks, we'd like to appreciate Miss Sarah, Tower Power, too sweet to be Tower. Alpar, her lovely husband, Drew. Like I said, check their go check social media. Take this video, comment, like, share, subscribe. Again, if you are somebody who's looking for a fighter to sponsor, this is the lady right here. Give her opportunity to really put her foot forward and let her try to grow her future. She's just 30 years old. Like, that's still a baby. You're just still a baby.
Baby.
Well, like I said, Thank you, folks, for coming by. I just thank again one Miss Sarah Alpar, her dear husband Drew. Like I said, check, like I said, comment, share, likes. This is your man, aka all the way George Page, the Emperor of Female Body and Talk. Like, subscribe, don't subscribe, and we are out. And I appreciate y'all too again.
Thanks, George.
Thank you.
You're welcome.